You're a level 10 operator, but you're stuck inside of a level 2 opportunity. That would be the equivalent of chess pieces on a chessboard. When I look at the game of chess, you're going to say you're going to have pawns, you have knights, you have rooks, you have queens, you have kings. Those are different people who play different roles inside of a business. When you work inside the business, you have different pieces. Whether you're the CEO who can represent the king, whether you're the marketing officer who represents the queen, the thing is you don't have leverage. The maximum amount of income you can earn is going to be determined based upon the role you play inside the game of chess.
Welcome to the Contrarian Capitalist Podcast, the ultimate destination for accredited investors and entrepreneurs seeking alternative wealth-building strategies. Discover how to fast-track your journey to wealth and time freedom by thinking outside the box. If you're ready to join the ranks of the Contrarian Capitalists and learn the most effective ways to reach your financial goals faster, you're in the right place. Let's get started with today's episode of the Contrarian Capitalist Podcast.
Thank you once again for listening to another episode of the Contrarian Capitalist Podcast. I'm your favorite silverback, Sylvania Harrod, and on today's episode, what I'm going to talk to you about is who is Alex Hormozi and what is the structure that is behind him that enables him to do what he does. So for those of you that are not familiar, Alex Hormozi has been an internet sensation for the last couple of years. He's launched a few different books from $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and he is the owner of a website called acquisition.com. How he got started was he went through and he built a business called Gym Launch, where he would go to different gym owners and he would create an agreement of saying that I can get you 100 people into your gym, help them reach their financial figures. Now, most of us are in the world of like, damn, he's out there doing it. He's making things happen. And I'm going to give you an analogy that I'm going to keep repeating in multiple different episodes. In the game of business, or we can even look at it as the jungle of business, there are a couple key players that make things happen. So we're going to relay it towards chess. So in chess, you have the chess pieces, you have the chess player, and then you have the chess room. So for Alex Hormozi and being able to do things, he realized as he was the chess piece, because what he was doing when he first started was he was selling a service directly to business owners, but he had a mentor that came into his life and educated him on, while that is great, that'll never be a level 10 opportunity. You're a level 10 operator, but you're stuck inside of a level 2 opportunity. That would be the equivalent of chess pieces on a chessboard. And when I look at the game of chess, you're going to say you're going to have pawns, you have knights, you have rooks, you have queens, you have kings. So those are different people who play different roles inside of a business. When you work inside the business, you have different pieces. You can have, whether you're the CEO who can represent the king, whether you're the marketing officer who represents the queen, whatever there. The thing is you don't have leverage. The maximum amount of income you can earn is going to be determined based upon the role you play inside the game of chess. So in Hormozi's situation, he realized that gym launch, I can go help gyms launch. I get a percentage that happens to be there, but I'm never going to really reach the capacity that I want to do. And so when I look at more junior entrepreneurs, sometimes they never get past that level. Like they're just like, oh, foundational level, be able to be here. I know how to operate. I know how to do things. And that's okay. But here in the Contrarian Capitalist, what I want to teach you is some of the different things so you can identify the structures so that you can be able to determine what role you actually want to play. So you have Gym Launch. He goes through that process. He realizes that, hang on a second, I'm getting paid. Let's say you're helping gym owners get to $1 million in revenue. I'm getting paid $100,000, but they're getting 900,000 more in opportunity from what I'm able to develop for them. That's cool, but he wanted to move to a role of the chess player. The chess player normally is what we know of as private equity. That's why he started acquisitions.com. He was able to generate a war chest of money and be able to build a family office. So now if you go to acquisitions.com, you can see that his content has begun to change. Before, he was targeting like individuals because he was building his personal brand. But he's moved to a phase where now he's targeting business owners. You want to ask yourself why? The reason being is that he learned, hey, by being in the world of private equity, I now have the opportunity. I understand the process of what it takes to scale and build. Now I'm going to go help other owners scale and biz. So, chess player. So they go through the process, they go through things. So he starts working with companies and getting a percentage of equity. Then he got exposed to the person who owns the building that the chess tournament is operating inside of, which is called a fund. A fund is a registered security that enables you the opportunity to pool together a group of investor money to be able to start buying particular assets. So a fund you can buy multiple assets with. Alex Hormozi has a fund. That's why his lead generation system is I create content. I have a media company because you've heard me say this. Capital is infinite. Attention is limited. So he recognizes that, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab the attention of my ideal client. If I can help them scale to a certain point, that means they are prime and ready for me to invest cash flow into it. You'll hear him talk about, like, I made my largest investment ever, which is in School, which is a platform for creating communities. Yes, if you are like me, I've taught you before, you always use OPM, aka other people's money, because you can protect your downside by putting it in stable assets. But you want to swing for the fences using OPM. This is the basis of how all capital works. You think that when you put money into a bank, it's just sitting there, like be able to do there? They use your money to help them make money. It's called fractional banking. So they're going to use your money to make money. Why not build your own bank? That is the basis of funds. So he has a fund. So what is he doing? He created a lead generation system that allows him to get prime Wagyu A5 beef. Because what's happening is these business owners are learning. Because what's the basis of why a business fails? Two reasons: undercapitalized, poor leadership. We can call it management. I'm going leadership because if you're a leader, totally different than a manager. But poor leadership can be broken down into categories like culture, the people you have, human resources, like the recruiting, the talent management, how you're developing the staff that you have there. Why do you think Hormozi is teaching all of those soft skills? Because he wants to inject what he knows will get a return for his investors. Just want to give you that. If you don't believe me, go to acquisitions.com. See who some of the managing directors are. Look at what their different backgrounds are. It's not just talking about, like, he knows the king and queen of a business is sales and marketing. So he knows that process. He knows how to be able to get people's attention. Why? Because he built his own thesis of how to be able to do it. He has 2 New York Times bestselling books to teach you how to be able to do it because he wanted leverage in the relationship. So now these portfolio companies are able to go ahead and learn that process. But the best thing you can do as a leader is surround yourself with people who are better than you in areas that you are not your strength, which is why you'll look at and you'll see different people on his team that happen to be there. They're all part of it. They're all building that fund and they're going to return it because that's the basis. When you have a fund behind you, your brain begins to shift. You get to a place where you don't think, like, money just turns into like a utility, like a light bill. You're just like, oh, cool, turn it on, turn it off, be able to do things. It's not a necessary. It's not something that is like a precious resource that happened to be there, like time is. You can't make more of time. So it's the most valuable asset you can ever have. It's not a commodity. You know what I mean? Like, what ends up happening is if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you get to a place of like shelter, food, water, is something you don't even comprehend about. because you're not thinking about it. Imagine you have that same capacity inside of a business. What decisions would you be making? Would you be making more long-term investments versus short-term investments that are going to give you a quick return because you need to pay your mortgage? This is the basis behind it. So, Hormozi, kudos to you, my friend. You figured out the different tier game. Now, once you get into the fun game, there's so many different levels that happen to be there. But the reality is, to me, it is the best business model you can possibly have. Because when you have a fund, you have the opportunity to have less risky decisions that you're making. You can shoot for the moon and land in the stars. So, as you can see, with being able to be there, Hormozi has done it. He's gone through that process. The great thing about having these examples of people going out there and setting the way for you is that you now have the opportunity to replicate what they've done in different phases. So that's my message for today. Hope you found this episode very valuable. And as always, you can find me on all social media platforms. First name Sylvania, last name Harrod. Have a great week. Stay grateful, my friends. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Contrarian Capitalist Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, rate, and leave us a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more people ready to explore contrarian investment strategies. Stay connected with us on social media for more expert insights, behind-the-scenes content, and updates on upcoming episodes. You can find all the links in the show notes. Until next time, stay bold, think differently, and keep pursuing the legacy you deserve. Thanks for listening to the Contrarian Capitalist Podcast.